$10,000 cash. Head over to your nearest Flow store or visit discoverflow.co. Flow, we Christmasing.
More gifts with Flow.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, a UNDP representative says the organization has supported the government in reaching developmental goals in the Kalinago territory. In news from the region, Haiti declares 1 month state of emergency. And internationally, Israel Prime Minister reports progress in Gaza hostage negotiations. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when written.
Christmas in this year.
Can I have this?
We have an extra $400 from Flow. You can have everything you
More
want.
gifts with Flow. With Christmas in, win weekly prices up to $10,000 in cash. Sign up for a postpaid bundle or a broadband plan.
We Christmasing with free groceries from Flow. Plus, a chance to win weekly prizes and up to $10,000 cash. Head over to your nearest Flow store or visit discoverflow.co. Flow, we
More
Christmasing.
gifts with Flow.
DBS News.
Welcome back. United Nations Development Programme UNDP resident representative for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Limia El-Tayab, says UNDP has supported the government in its pursuit of several developmental goals in the Kalinago territory. Recently, a $1 million project was launched to strengthen community resilience within the Kalinago territory. The project is being implemented by the United Nations Development Programme.
Not only did UNDP support the government of Dominica in its digital transformation journey, in 2019, the very first digital readiness assessment globally was launched from here in Dominica. But also, 2 years ago, the previous project launched digital transformation initiatives and investments in the Kalinago to support economic markets, tourism. There was also a Kalinago trail for tourism, but also for maintaining the culture, and there were also virtual reality videos of the Kalinago area that not only capture the heritage and culture and the Kalinago Council and people have used to share with the world, but also is a tourism marketing tool and branding for the region, which we hope contributes to economic resilience. So this new project builds on that. It will look to support livelihoods, look to support entrepreneurship, look to support tourism, most importantly, look to support their community and the council in their vision, in their culture, and in their heritage and how to maintain that. I know that in many instances, we don't stop to recognize that indigenous people of the world have brought so much knowledge to all of us today when it comes to land management, to water management, and resource management. And I want to say very clearly that it is a shared knowledge experience.
United Nations Development Programme UNDP resident representative for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Limia El-Tayab. The UNDP representative also praised the Kalinago people for their recent achievements over the past years.
I want to also recognize what the Kalinago community has brought to both this country, but the whole of the Caribbean. I think you are the only community that still owns its own land in the Caribbean. Congratulations to you and the government and the partnership that had the vision to make that happen. You are also the community that produced the first female president. You are also the community that has the Minister of Environment amongst them. You are the community that had the youngest chief ever, and I salute the previous chief that worked with us so diligently. And now you are the community that has the first female chief. So I salute you, not small achievements. And we're hoping that with this project, strengthening community resilience within the Kalinago, we can help and support in actually moving your ambition and moving all of the things that you were first in one step further. Ensuring resilience is the theme, building on your heritage and knowledge, but also paving the way for a future that complements that heritage with cutting-edge technology and new investments. We are here as UNDP to ensure long-term resilience and long-term economic benefits. And as Justin just elaborated, we hope that this is a catalytic project that through which and with you, we will be able to launch other projects that complement what you are doing and what we are supporting.
United Nations Development Programme UNDP resident representative for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Limia El-Tayab. Dominicans are being called on to assist the Dominica Police Force in ensuring there is minimum congestion within the city during the Christmas season. Head of the Traffic Department, Pelham John Baptist, says the police force is putting measures in place to deal with the greater influx of persons coming into Roseau during the holidays.
We have signs in the city of Roseau, and they are placed there for reasons that assist in your safety, and we would like to advise motorists to park where you are allowed to park and don't park where you should not park. Because parking where you should not park results in ticketing, which we want to avoid. It's a season of giving. We don't give any tickets. We want to advise the public there are some vehicles which are like diners and double cab pickups. Not everywhere that have parking space is suitable for your vehicle to park because the vehicle is long. So if you park in those areas, you will have the rear of your vehicle in the road causing a congestion. Ambulance cannot go through, a dump truck cannot go through. We'll have patrols, we'll see traffic officers in the city, but our concern is to advise citizens that everybody can have a parking in Roseau. It's impossible. So don't expect to come to town and expect to get parking like there's a parking spot waiting for you. So you have to use it, maybe the gardens, for example, outside of Roseau, Pottersville, and walk to the city. We'd like to urge you to not to show or expose valuables and money in your motor vehicles. Make sure they're locked. We have a festive season now, Christmas season. Some of us do consume alcoholic drinks. If you have to drink, do not drive. Wear your seatbelts. Don't be on your phones and driving.
Meantime, John Baptist says there are occurrences of illegal vending on the streets of Roseau which are to be addressed.
There are motor vehicles and owners of motor vehicles who have decided to attach lights to their motor vehicles, additional lights like Christmas trees. It's an offense. Please remove those lights on your vehicles. It's not authorized by the Traffic Act. We have a few individuals who have erected tents and created stores on the road in the city. It's not authorized by Chief of Police. Those who have permission from the City Council will be given a spot to do their business, and they have to occupy the sidewalk, not the road. So if you have anyone who installed or has on the public road in the city any tent conducting business, they must remove them. We're not trying to deny you making a living, but you cannot break the law to make a living. And the road, for everybody's use, it cannot be occupied or taken over by a few unlawfully.
Head of the Traffic Department, Pelham John Baptist. Chairperson of JCI Dominica Kiddies Carnival, Brendalyn Bazil, is encouraging children from across the island to take part in next year's event. JCI Dominica officially launched the 2025 Kiddies Carnival under the theme A Fairy Tale Carnival. The event is scheduled to take place on March 2nd, 2025.
The event isn't just about fun and games. It's about sparking creativity, inspiring joy, and giving children a space to dream big. Next year's Kiddie Carnival's theme is A Fairy Tale Carnival, and it invites children across the island to unleash their imagination and step into a magical world filled with princes, princesses, mythical creatures, and enchanting stories. The idea is to create an experience where every child can feel like they're stepping right into their favorite fairy tale. This exciting event combines two unforgettable experiences in one. Our first being the street parade, starting at 12 p.m. on Sunday, March 2nd, 2024. At the different, children are to dress in their favorite fairy tale characters and showcase on the streets Their costumes alongside the afro-stilt walkers, flag wavers, sponsors, and other youth group and troops. The parade will feature 3 fun-filled zones. These 3 zones are dry zone, which will showcase dazzling costumes and performances. The second zone is potion zone, a sparkling wonderland of powder and glitter dust. And the wet zone, a foaming, bubbly carnival for cooling and having fun.
Chairperson of Kiddies Carnival, Brendalyn Brazil. Kiddies Carnival is set to take place on March 2nd, 2025. Deputy Fire Chief Wayne Later says that the manpower at the Fire and Ambulance Services Department is seeing steady increase. Later says that the department is currently in the process of appointing some volunteers to the position of firemen. He was speaking with Minister for National Security, Rayburn Blackmore, on the Legal Affairs and Youth program recently.
We went through an intake of persons in 2020 and also an intake in 2022. And it took some time before those persons got appointed, and then we got those persons appointed to the position of fireman. And during that time, what also happened is that we had an increase from 131 to 165. So that was an addition of 34 new positions created during the same period when those persons were actually appointed to the position of fireman. So at this moment, the next crew which came in 2022, we are presently looking at the appointment of those persons in the positions of fireman. They actually came as temporary staff. But over the years, what we have done, what the ministry have done, is do the necessaries to get those persons into position. So we are currently on the verge of having those persons appointed as firemen. So they have been working as temporary over the past 2 years. Yes.
Meantime, Later says that the frequency of motor vehicle incidents on the island is concerning.
I would say yes, there has been an increase in the amount of motor vehicle accidents in the island. And it may be because we have more motor vehicles on the road, but we believe that it also has to do with human behavior. And when I say we, I'm talking about EMTs, persons working on the ambulance responding to those incidents, the rescue persons. They talk about human behavior. Because in a lot of cases, what you find is human behavior caused the motor vehicle incident, crash incident. And from all our data, it shows that we suffer a lot of injuries, sometimes paralysis. We see that happening just because of those motor vehicle incidents. This is one of the reasons we are asking persons to be cautious on the road always. And those type of incidents over the past 3 years, our data shows that it is actually on the increase. So every year, for example, we have 164 motor vehicle incidents, crash incidents that we responded to in 2023. So it is increasing.
Deputy Fire Chief Wayne Later. On the feature segment of the news, a young lady of Picard, Rihanna Patterson, is the one behind the Dominica Dementia Foundation. The institution was formed 8 years ago. Ms. Patterson says the Dominica Dementia Foundation emerged as a result of the death of her grandfather. Rihanna Patterson is our feature on the DBS Evening News.
So I founded the Dominica Dementia Foundation in memory of my grandfather. So he passed away dementia in 2013, and that experience kind of catalyzed me to have a curiosity on brain, behavior, human behavior. So I went to do an associate's degree in psychology at the Dominica State College. And after that, I took a year out, before university to figure out what I want to do and stuff like that. I started volunteering with the Dominica National Council of Women, and that is where I realized I want to do something for the community. And then I started to reflect about my family's experience, and I said, okay, you see this, starting an organization, I want it to have purpose and meaning. And I don't want to do something vi and I do it one day and then the next day I fall out of love with it. I want to be passionate about what I do. So I felt like my experience with my grandfather really kind of, it's just like when you lose someone with dementia, it's like something you never experienced before. You don't know what you're going to get in the next hour, in the next day. It's ever changing. And he was my father figure. He was my dominoes player. He was my cricket man. He was everything to us. So, yes, when we went through that journey with him, I realized that we need support in Dominica for our community. You know, people don't know where to go for support. People don't know how to deal with it. They don't know who to talk to. So I formulated the Dementia Foundation in his memory to support the community, to raise awareness of dementia, to provide support to caregivers. So we have a full board of directors, newly elected actually. We had our AGM recently. So the president is Veron Nicholas. We also have a treasurer and assistant treasurer. So Keisha Etienne is treasurer. Outgoing assistant treasurer is Melissa. We also have advisors and trustees. And we are currently looking for secretaries. So if anyone's out there that wants to fulfill that position, please contact us. And I kind of situate myself between advisor and partnership lead and fundraising. I do a bit of fundraising as well for the foundation. So the way I explain to people is dementia is like an umbrella term. So you have an umbrella. Imagine you have an umbrella. Create a fest, okay? And you have your friends. And all your partners, them getting wet. But you have a few under the umbrella. So dementia is an umbrella term. So imagine dementia is the umbrella and you have your people under the umbrella like Alzheimer's disease, Huntington's disease, Parkinson's disease. So they all fall under that category of dementia. But it's not an actual condition. The actual types of dementia is under dementia, if that makes sense. So Alzheimer's disease is the main type that is commonly known, but there's about 100 types of dementia.
Rihanna Patterson, our feature on the DBS Evening News. And that's the national focus, news from the region and international up next.
Christmas in this year.
Can I have this? We have an extra $400 from Flow. You can have everything you
More
want.
gifts with Flow. With Christmas in, win weekly prices up to 10,000 in cash. Sign up for a postpaid bundle or a broadband plan.
We Christmasing with free groceries from Flow. Plus, a chance to win weekly prizes and up to $10,000 cash. Head over to your nearest Flow store or visit discoverflow.co. Flow, we Christmasing.
More gifts with Flow.
DBS News.
In news from the region, the government of Haiti has announced a 1-month state of emergency effective Sunday, December 22nd and going until January 21st, 2025 in response to escalating gang violence and insecurity. The decision approved by the Council of Ministers aims to empower the Haitian National Police to combat armed gangs, address the agricultural and food crisis, and restore public safety. A National Security Council has also been established to tackle the ongoing security crisis and support a peaceful political transition as outlined in April 2024 agreement. And internationally, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says some progress has been made in negotiations aimed at releasing hostages in Gaza. Addressing the parliament as negotiations resumed in the recent days, Netanyahu stated that some progress has been made and they will continue working until they bring back all the hostages. Earlier, a Palestinian presidential advisor said that Hamas is stalling the deal to remain in Gaza, adding that Netanyahu wants to delay the ceasefire. And that's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next with Gavin Richards.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Well, good evening. I'm Garvin Richards with the DBS Evening Sports Report, and we're going to bowl off with some cricket news. Dominica's Amir Gilbert has been named in the 15-member strong West Indies Under-19 women's team for the upcoming Under-19 Cricket World Cup, which will be held in Malaysia. Gilbert, an off-break bowler, has represented the national Under-19 and senior women's team, and she was also part of the Windward Islands Under-19 and senior women's squad. The Under-19 World Cup tournament will feature 16 teams from across the globe: Australia, Bangladesh, England, India, Ireland, New Zealand, Pakistan, South Africa, Sri Lanka and the West Indies. They all qualified through their participation in the 2023 edition, while Malaysia earned automatic qualification as the host country. The 16 teams have been split into 4 groups of 4, and the West Indies have been grouped or drawn in Group A alongside India, Sri Lanka and the host country, Malaysia. Meantime, President of the Dominica Cricket Association, Clement Masler, says this is another proud moment for Dominica's cricket.
On behalf of the Dominica Cricket Association, I want to congratulate Amir Gilbert on her selection to the West Indies Under-19 World Cup squad, which will take part in this tournament in Malaysia in 2025. Again, she has shown that once you put in the effort, once you remain committed, that great things can be attained. And we are very elated for her success, and we just wish her all the best in her future endeavors.
And that's President of the Dominica Cricket Association, Clement Masler. Well, the Under-19 Cricket World Cup will get underway from the 19th of January. And of course, we wish Amir Gilbert all the best as she goes out to represent Dominica by extension. Let's stay with cricket news because Dominica's Alec Athanaze and Kavem Hodge will start the new year in Pakistan, as the duo have been included in the West Indies 15-man squad for a 2-test series starting on the 17th of January in Pakistan. The Trinidadian batsman Amir Jangu has also received a maiden call-up to the test team, while Gudakesh Moti, who was unavailable for the series with Bangladesh, will make his return. Amir Jangu had hit a century on debut with the ODI team against Bangladesh in St. Kitts, while the West Indies once again will be led by Craig Brathwaite, and Joshua De Silva will serve as the vice-captain. The rest of the team is Alec Athanaze, Casey Carty, Justin Graves, Kavem Hodge, Tevim Inglak, Amir Jangu, Mikael Louis, Gudakesh Moti, Anderson Phillip, Kemar Roach, Kevin Sinclair, Jaden Seals and Jomel Warrican. The fast bowler Shamal Joseph will continue with his rehabilitation from injury, while Alzari Joseph will be unavailable due to other engagements. The squad departs the Caribbean on the 2nd of January. West Indies women's head coach Shane Dates says the team has to put the disasters of the first one-day international against India behind them and focus on trying to rebound. While the West Indies ladies suffered a heavy 211-run defeat in the first match on Sunday, India made 314 for 9, while the West Indies were bowled out for 103. Dates says that the team is better than that.
Yeah, obviously disappointing result. We wanted to play much better. But yeah, the idea was to try to get some early wickets, get them under pressure. We thought like 250 would be a real easy score to chase, and there's like a massive dew out there now, so if you're trying to bowl now, it would have been quite difficult. So, we wanted to get through the new ball, because we knew that would do a bit. Obviously, run out first ball doesn't help, and we've got no momentum. But that was the plan, to restrict them to 250, and then I thought, as I said, real heavy dew out there now. If we're batting now and trying to bowl, it would have been quite difficult to defend. So that was the plan. If you could drop catches, you're not going to win many matches. We don't teach them to drop catches. We teach them to catch the catches. But in the heat of the moment, we didn't. We dropped some catches, and they dropped one or two as well. But we've got to. If you send a team in, you got to take all your catches, get all your chances to put them under pressure. And obviously we didn't. Everyone's watched cricket around the world enough to know. We work hard at training on our catching. But, sometimes you drop them in matches. But we're going to do a lot better. And, all aspects of our game have got to improve. We haven't played a one-day international match for over 6 months. So that showed today as well.
And that's the West Indies women's head coach Shane Dates. Well, the second ODI between the West Indies and India will get underway tomorrow morning. The first ball is at 4 o'clock in the morning, Caribbean time. A Cricket West Indies president, Dr. Kishore Shalu, says their new partnership with the lottery and betting company Caribbean Cage LLC will transform West Indies cricket. Well, CWI and Caribbean Cage announced a 10-year partnership last week. The deal is expected to generate over $100 million for regional cricket development and West Indies cricket. The deal has also been endorsed by a number of CARICOM governments, and the venture is expected to see increased tax revenues.
For the last 20 plus years, there have been efforts to establish a regional lottery that could fund West Indies cricket. And we are quite happy, ecstatic, and this stands to benefit us tremendously, where we could make contributions throughout the entire Caribbean, particularly for cricket development. The very conservative estimate of this partnership is close to $100 million over the first 10 years. And you know that that is significant and very necessary for cricket going forward.
And that's the Cricket West Indies president, Dr. Kishore Shalu. A captain of the Barano Ote Warriors team, Gian Benjamin, says it took a total team effort to win the 6th edition of the Dream 11 Nature ILT10 tournament, where the Warriors beat the champion Reef Divers by 9 wickets in Sunday's final at Windsor Park.
I must say I'm very proud of the guys. It's been a very good season for us. Started off on the good side. We had some ups, we had some downs, but most importantly, we stuck together as a team. We prayed together and we fight together. We lost together, we win together. We enjoy every moment. We enjoy each other's success, and I think that was what helped us to be rewarded at the end.
All right, let's start before we talk about the game. Let's talk about the game before, because you really had to work hard. You had to play a game this morning to get here into the finals this afternoon, and it looks like you guys were not tired at all. You came out, guns blazing.
Yeah, it's been a very tough day for us today. I'm playing 2 days in one day. Playing the eliminator this morning at 9:30. It wasn't easy, but the guys understood the task at hand, which was to win the game, which is the championship ahead of us. We came in with a lot of energy. With the one goal is to win the trophy, and I think everybody stuck together and stayed together as a team.
All right, let's talk about Gillen Tyson and the impact that he had with the ball, bowling you guys into a very good position.
Gillen Tyson is very, very good for us. Expressed himself with pace. It was a crucial period for him to come in and display that good talent today. He got the 3 crucial wickets for us, the most important batters for the divers, Stefan, Primus and Cheyenne, which was very important for us. And I think that's what pulled back the game for us and gave us the overhand.
And that's the captain of the Barano Ote Warriors team, Gian Benjamin. Gillen Tyson was named the man of the match for his figures of 3 for 10 with the ball. Meantime, the Warriors head coach, John Fabian, says it was a good display throughout the entire tournament.
Well, right now there's a wave of emotions. It was a tough season. We went through a lot of trials and tribulations, but we used that as motivation to pull through in the end. And today we can stand together strong and say that we are champions.
John, you had a complete team, and some would say probably the best team on paper. How happy are you that the fact that all of the guys stepped up, all of the guys played their roles to lead you to champions today?
Well, for the past 2 seasons we have been falling short, so it's nice to see that we went back to the drawing board and put together a combination that could lead us all the way. We were confident from the start that we had the right guys, we had the right combination, and it showed out today that we are champions.
A quick word on Stephen Natram, Daniel McDonald, your overseas players who really stepped up.
Stephen has been with us for a while, and he's always been performing over the years. Daniel McDonald came in, and from the start he brought that hype, he brought that energy, and he said to me at the start, "Coach, I'm gonna bring you that championship, coach." In his Grenadian accent, he said, "Coach, I'm gonna bring you that championship," and he didn't disappoint. He delivered, and then we had Elmo there with his leg spin, with his variations, coming up with the big wickets in the middle overs, and then that clutch 6 in one of the games to carry us over the line. I'm very, very, very proud of the overseas guys, and look forward to having them back as a Barana OT Warrior.
A word on your 12th man, the fans, the supporters, the Warrior Nation. What would you want to say to them right now?
Well, the Warrior Nation has been with us through the tough times. They've been down with us. They've been with us when we were up. I would just like to say to them, thank you for being there for us through thick and thin. And today, this one is not just for the players, but it's also for them.
And that's the head coach of the Barana OT Warriors, John Fabian. Well, a number of awards were also handed out at the end of the tournament yesterday. Stephen Nitram, he copped the award for the most runs and the most sixes. He scored some 397 runs in the tournament. Courtney Ansem was given the award for the most wickets. He picked up 13 wickets in the competition, and Diony Roll was named the most promising young player. Daniel McDonald was judged the MVP of the tournament. That's where we'll come to the end of the DBS Evening Sports Report. We'll have some more sporting highlights for you tomorrow morning during the major morning newscast. On behalf of Leila Langford, who presented the news, and of course our links person, DJ Halo Boy, I'm Gavin Richards saying good evening.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 23rd day of December 2024. We begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements on the Community Bulletin Board. We announce the death of Miss Mary Samuel, better known as Ma Virginia, Vovo and Vo, age 87 of Dailies, who resided at 17 Winston Lane, Goodwill. She'll be remembered by her nieces, Rosemary and Irma Shillingford, Norma Shillingford Wilshire, and Aliana Talbot. Her nephews, Steve Eustace and Alvin Shillingford. Her godchildren, Lynn Dennis and Avanel Lazar. Caregiver, Lovely Wilshire and family. Special friend, Jose Luis. Close relatives and friends, including Lorna Phillips and family, Alvin Deja, Lana Nelson, Bevinsky St. Val and family, Christine Victor and family, Mafilo and the McIntyre family. Other close relatives and friends, including Mr. Jude Smith, Nurse Louise and Bellot, Eileen, Louisa Warrington, Rosmina Coffey, David Pascal, Joan Francis, Marvelyn Morris, Cleo Shillingford, Marilyn Matthew, Fabienne, Dawn Sims and family, Mr. and Mrs. Ron Abraham, Mrs. Sabin, Anthony Peter, Rosamond Roll, Akim Ismail, Curly Prince and family, Jennifer Joseph, Rosette Trocard, Sonia Allen, Mona James, Chrisma, Monsignor John Lewis and Thomas, the congregation of the St. Alphonsus Church, pastor and members of the Church of God Seventh-day Adventist Church, especially Sister Remy, Dorcas, Lee, Geraldine, Julian and their families, Deacon Sandrak and family, Brother McLean, Stephen, Roy and their families, Edward Ellick, Martha, Andrea and family, the community of Dailies, the entire community of Goodwill, especially her loving neighbors on Winston Lane, numerous cousins here and overseas, nurses and doctors of the Glover Ward and other names too numerous to mention. The body of the late Mary Samuel, better known as Ma Virginia, Vovo, and Vo of Dailies, who resided at 17 Winston Lane, Goodwill, will be transported from the Lyndhurst Funeral Home for viewing at 2:30 p.m. on Friday, the 27th of December, at the St. Alphonsus Church. The funeral mass will take place at 3 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Roseau Catholic Cemetery. We announce the death of Clemencia Lady Daniel, better known as Tanti, age 83, of Larond, La Plaine. She died on Monday, the 16th of December. She was the mother of Davidson, Paul, Franklin, Adrian, Garnett, Teresa, Ted, and Maynard Daniel, also Joy Fritz and Judy Scotland, 10 children. She will also be remembered by her 15 grandchildren: Shivoni, Hannix, Liana, Leonson, Adriana, Bria, Esther and Cody Daniel, Cassinda, Alana and Diamond Fritz, Giovanni, Amani, Jawanzini and Delani Scotland. Her sisters, Gemma Barry and Modrina Everington. Nephews including Vanus, Lucian, Claude and Earl. Also Barry, Albert and Dominica. Nieces including Cheryl, Samantha, Natalia, Bernadine, Linda, Erlin, Merlin and Rose. Brother-in-law Martin Everington. Daughters-in-law Pastor Gloria, Roxanne, Annette, Paula and Leonie Daniel and Berticia de Gallery. Sons-in-law Pastor Alexander Scotland and David Fritz. Many cousins including the Carbon families of Woodford Hill, Mulberry and families. Close friends Mr. and Mrs. Frank Girardel, Margaret Meator, Evelyn and Stephen Carbon, Peter and family, Mavis and family, Mr. and Mrs. Ron Green, Delroy, Magabe, Alberta, Sorrento, Honorable Dr. Cassandra Williams, Agnes Joseph, Steve Saintville, Peter Have, Annette Langley, Marceline Fritz and family, Solomon Saintville, Prince and Jacqueline Daniel, Joan Joseph, Pastor Griffin Daniel and family, pastors and members of the La Plaine Baptist Church, the La Plaine Health Team, her caregiver Vern Joseph, many other relatives and friends both here and abroad, names too numerous to mention. The body of the late Clemencia Lady Daniel, better known as Tanti of Larod, La Plaine, can be viewed from 1:30 p.m. on Friday, the 27th of December at the People's Pentecostal Church. The funeral service will take place at 2 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Fortoma Cemetery in Delis. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Gentle Rest Funeral Service, Inc. The management and staff of DBS Radio, your nation station, extends deepest condolences to the families of the late Mary Samuel, and also we extend deepest condolences to the family of the late Clemencia Lady Daniel.
And now, your community bulletin board.
We now present to you the general announcements on this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. We begin with this announcement from Dowasco. Dowasco informs customers from Mero to Castle Comfort, including Campbell and Warner, that due to heavy rains, the WA1 system was shut down and they are working to restore water in the quickest possible time. As a result, customers, particularly at higher elevations, may experience low water pressure or water interruptions. Dowasco regrets any inconvenience which may be caused and thanks customers for their cooperation and understanding. Dowasco apologizes to its customers in Portsmouth, Picard and Glanvilla for the unscheduled interruption in their water supply, which is as a result of blockage at the intake following heavy rainfall. Be assured that works are ongoing to have the service restored in the quickest possible time. Dowasco regrets the inconvenience and thanks customers for their understanding. All persons required to pay liquor license for the income year 2025 are notified that these licenses are due and payable by January 2nd, 2025. Payments are to be made at the Inland Revenue Division on High Street, Roseau, at the Marigot or Portsmouth Sub-Treasuries from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Mondays and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tuesdays and Fridays. In addition, revenue officers will be at the La Plaine, Grand Fond, Dalis, and Castlebruce police stations on December 30th, 2024 to collect liquor license payments. All members of the Dominica Fisheries Cooperative are asked to collect their payments from the liquidators at the Cooperative Division on High Street, Roseau, on Tuesday, the 24th of December, 2024 from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. A lost dog named Starfire with white and black spots and a slight limp when walking on his left hind leg was last seen between Santa Roma and Maho. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Starfire should contact 285-1958 or 276-4835. A financial reward will be given for his return or for information that leads to his return. The insurance company of the West Indies, ICWI, wishes to advise customers and prospective customers that its offices in Roseau and Portsmouth will be closed from 12 noon tomorrow, Tuesday, 24th December, and also on Tuesday, the 30th of December, 2024. ICWI apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause. The staff of ICWI thanks customers for their business in 2024 and wish a blessed Christmas and a healthy and prosperous 2025 to all. The Aid Bank wishes to inform all their customers, affiliates, and the general public that its main office on the corner of Charles Avenue and Rawls Lane, Goodwill, and its industrial estate office at the Kinfield Industrial Estate will be officially closed at 12 noon on Tuesday, the 24th of December, that's tomorrow, and on Thursday, the 31st of December, 2024. The bank is deeply appreciative and thankful for your continued patronage and commitment as they look forward to serving you in 2025. We've come to the end of this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. Thank you very much for joining us. The next edition is tomorrow morning from 6:10 a.m. with the morning edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements, and then we continue at approximately 7:40 with the DBS Radio General Announcements. Don't forget to hear your announcements on DBS Radio, the nation station. Come into the sales and marketing team's office Mondays through Fridays between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Also give us a call, 448-3282, 448-3283. Same times and days mentioned except holidays.